appreciate. It ought to do something in us. Not just him, but his whole family. You understand that? That's a big deal too. When you talk about grief, and I'm just speaking from the heart here, and I know it's 10:55. But listen, that's a big deal. Listen, it doesn't just grieve him or whoever else. It doesn't just grieve them. That trickles on down to his wife and his children. Because they can see it. And it doesn't just affect him. It affects their whole. We ought to appreciate the whole family. Yes, appreciate him and thank God for him. We ought to understand. Listen, we ought to appreciate the entire family because you know what they do? They understand. They're not called, they understand that he is called to this. But they have a love for what God has called him to do. And they have a love for the same people. And they sacrifice. Listen to me, they sacrifice. We have kids that sacrifice their father. And a wife that sacrifices her husband in time spent. Listen, that's a big deal. We ought to understand that. That's a gift from God, that God would give us, give the church men that care deeply about them. That's a big deal. And we ought to show appreciation. And we ought to show thankfulness and encouragement. And we ought to value them. Listen, it's unprofitable for you if you don't. All right? That's all I got. It's 10:55.